everybody, and welcome to another edition of Wedding Wednesdays. I'm Michelle, and this is Mark, and we're getting married, so every Wednesday I'm posting a video about planning our wedding so that you can learn from our mistakes. I'm filming this Wedding Wednesday in the middle of training for 2 new jobs, which brings us to the subject of today's video, the budget. Hang on one second, I don't think I'm fully prepared to talk about money. There we go. When you're planning a wedding, probably the first thing you need to do is figure out your budget. The budget is the thing that dictates what kind of a wedding you're gonna have. When I was a senior in high school, we were assigned a project, a mock budget to prepare us for life on our own. I researched typical rent in the area I was looking to live in, cost of a car, how much people make at the job I was looking at. When we started planning our budget, I did basically the same thing. I researched photographers to figure out how much photographers typically charge. A lot. I researched venues to see how much a typical venue is. It's a lot. I took careful note of the prices of the dresses I was liking, the kind of suit Mark was most likely gonna wear, flower girl outfits, decorations. It's a lot, Steve! It's a lot! He knows. He knows. Do your research. Prioritize. All in the service of creating a mock budget to give you an idea of how much your dream wedding is going to cost. Having your priorities in order is definitely going to help you down the line. Is it more important that you have an open bar or that you have a videographer? Food was the most important thing in our wedding. So once you've done all your research and you know how much the things you want go for and you know what order your priorities are in, you can make up your mock budget. It's going to be a handy-dandy little tool throughout your wedding planning process. Step 1, complete mock budget. Step 2, Step 3, Step 4, just take it, please. Here's something fun that I realized. Weddings did not cost as much as they do now when our parents got married. My parents' wedding was a fraction of the cost of what my wedding is ending up being. I'm literally making the decorations myself, and we're still spending a crazy amount of money. On the plus side though, look at that. Look it. So pretty. The best piece of advice I was given by anyone before I started planning my wedding was that if you need to call a place to rent tables or chairs, if you're really starting from scratch in a venue that doesn't provide that stuff already, don't tell the rental place it's for a wedding. Say, I'm having a party. If you need to rent 150 chairs and you say it's for a wedding, they're immediately gonna jack up the price. If you say it's for a party, no upcharge. That's what the wedding industry does. It tacks on more money because they can. Because it's the most special day of your life. And ooh, don't you want these white satin cushions? No, you're barely gonna be sitting in that seat anyway. My parents were able to pay for their entire wedding themselves because their rent on an apartment in Bensonhurst was $200 a month. Of course, occasionally old Italian men would tell them to go inside for a few hours because there was going to be a mob hit across the street, but the area had charm. So when you're talking to your parents or your aunts and uncles or your grandparents about how you're paying for the wedding, they're going to react negatively to you suggesting credit cards or going into debt in any way. This is how our generation pays for weddings. But I'll tell you one thing. The debt we're accumulating for our wedding, and what I believe the hype is probably going to be one of the most important days of my life, is nothing compared to the student debt we're already in. You're going to go into debt for your wedding. Accept it. Deal with it. Manage it. Don't go crazy. Your family's going to offer you money. That can be really hard to swallow for some people. Family members that don't have a lot of money are going to offer you money. Take the money. Put yourself in their shoes. Imagine that your child is getting married. Aren't you going to offer them money? Steve, if you got married, I'd pay for it. conclusion, accept money when it's given, accept that you're gonna go into debt, accept that it's worth it, and don't ever tell anyone that what you're renting is for a wedding. Do you have any budgetary questions you'd like me to answer? It's rude to talk about money, but leave them in the comments nonetheless. And if there's any subject you'd like to see me discuss here on Wedding Wednesdays, tweet at Michelle McNally, #Wedding Wednesdays. See you all next week.